Alrighty! Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, you fuckers? Peter Joseph here for a Saturday afternoon video right here on the dark and evil and scary sometimes. It is the Shadows Lair 2.0, and this is episode number 96 of the Shadows Lair 2.0 series. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there in the Shadows Lair, that rhymes. So subscribe to this channel, my other channels as well, show your love and support. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos on this channel and my other channels. But don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm. Satan and Ozzy will pretty much eat your rotting soul. And then you'll be gone. So don't do it. You want to do it, go somewhere else and do it. I'm not going to do it here. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Tap and slap that bell. You treat it like, smack that fucker. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, you need to get slapped. Because you're SOL, you better know what that means, because you might get slapped again. So, but if you know what it means, then you don't have to, not hit the bell. So please, don't become one of these dumb fucks that just don't hit the bell and like, I forgot your video was on. Dumbass. But anyway, please hit that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, like I said, you need to get slapped. And you're SOL, then you better know what that means. And if you don't know, look it up. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, you relax, you grab your nice, tasty, cold one. In this case, I'm drinking Arizona iced tea. Because I want to have some goddamn tea! If you play Final Fantasy, you know that. And then later, we're going to drink some Pepsi. The drink of champions. And that's that. But right now, one of the little iced tea. Gotta have some iced tea. You gotta switch it up a little bit. Iced tea, water, juice, Gatorade, Mio, whatever it is, But if you want to drink something else, go ahead. But put your feet up, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. Too bad. Maybe you need to get through my show, but even then, you're drinking alcohol or vaping or whatever you're doing, watching my thing, and you're getting annoyed. Good, I did my job. Because if you don't like me, too bad, you're watching. So, it is what it is. I do my job, whether it be good or bad. Pat myself on the back. Oh, sorry. Let me do the Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah, that's cringe, right? You're cringe. I'm not. But I digress. So, sit back, relax, grab yourself a cold one, and enjoy the show. That's it. Alright, happy Saturday afternoon, December the 6th, 2025. We're 19 days away from Christmas. Level 49. And also, we are 25 days away from the end of the year, when we drop that goddamn sphere. I hope it gets stuck. And then, if not, we'll start 2026. So, we're almost there. 3 weeks away from the end of the year. Then we turn the calendar to a new year and a new month of January. Hopefully, by the time we hit the end of the year, we won't get any snowstorms here in the Northeast. Might be getting a little bit next weekend. But it's basically going to be gone. Thinking about maybe about an inch or two on next weekend, and then gonna be a little mix. Gonna be temperature's gonna be like up down like my dick in your mom's ass. But that's the way the weather is sometimes. No wonder people get sick. I hope you got your flu shot. If you haven't, you're fucked. You're pretty much fucked if you haven't got your flu shot yet. I got it way in advance. I got mine. When did I get mine? I got mine in September, October, I think. And then I got the shingle shot about a month ago. I have to go back in February or early March to get the second one. Because there's two. I don't know why there's two, but there's two of them. But I didn't get sick off it. Surprisingly, I didn't get sick. Because Rosa got hers and she had a, bad reaction to it. She was a mess. Thankfully, all I got was, little aches and pains, a little bitty fever, and that's it. Nothing extraordinary. But it was like a day, and I was fine. The next day, I was happy. Rosa, I had to take care of because she was like, the mushroom barley soup was coming up. It was not a good day for her. But I did what any great man would do and take care of your wife. In more ways than one. But not when you're sick. That's, can't do that. Unless she's, out of her gourd, It's like, I'm sick, cuddle me! Okay, well, cuddle. And the next thing you know, you're doing a horizontal polka, basically, you know what I mean? You're doing the nasty. I'm like, I don't want to, not when you're, like, throwing up. I don't need you to be riding me. Next thing you know, bleh! No! Go away! You just killed the mood! I know I probably killed... I killed everything for you guys, but I don't care. I don't care because I'm getting more than you anyway. I digress on that. But it is what it is. Clip that. I don't give a shit. We move on with that, but hopefully you got your shots and all the good stuff, and we move on with that. But if you haven't got your flu shot, or a shingle shot, or any shot, period, you need to get one. Because if not, you're going to be sitting home and puking your guts out. And you didn't even have to go to the bar to do it. And that's that. We move on with that. Alright, so on this Saturday afternoon, December the 6th, 2025, we got Nxt Deadline coming up in a couple hours. Should be a pretty good show. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. But right now, after this video, we're going to talk about SmackDown, and then talk about Final Battle for Ring of Honor last night, which was not great, but decent. And if you saw one of my shorts, that the CEO is beltless. Thank the Lord. But we'll talk about that and that more later. And I keep forgetting to turn off my notifications on my backup phone, but it is what it is. Big ups to Ash Costello, by the way. Just want to put that up. In any case, it is time on episode 96 of the Shadow Slayer. Before we get to NXT Deadline, let's do some predictions. So this is your official NXT Deadline predictions video right here on the Shadow Slayer. Thanks for watching. I'm Peter Joseph, and let's get into it. Alright, so NXT Deadline comes your way tonight at, I believe, 7 p.m. Yep, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on pay-per-view. And it's going to be emanating from the Boeing Center at Techport in San Antonio, Texas. We're going to scare them Cowboys, damn dude. Yep. Damn Texas is going to be scared. Going to see some good wrestling. Coming up in a couple hours. Alright, this is the, for NXT, it's the third annual Deadline event. The first one came in 2022. And that's it. Alright, so as always with Deadline, we got the men's and women's Iron Survivor match to see who faces the men's and women's World Heavyweight Champions at New Year's Evil, coming up in January. So we'll talk about those two matches in a little bit. But let's talk about the singles matches that are going to be preceding that. So we're going to start off with the NXT North American Championship, or now as we call it, the Canadian National Champion, because a fake Canadian has that belt, and that's this guy, Ethan Page, Ethan Page. He's going to take on the man from Triple A, the Lizard King himself, with Yeska, and that's Mr. Iguana, the legend that he is. Now, these two guys, have gone at it in Triple A. Ethan Page is pretty much a wanted man down there in Triple A in Mexico, with Dr. Wagner Jr., winning the the Triple A Mega Championship with Chelsea Green. And then winning the North American Championship a couple months ago. Now, basically, it's the Canadian title. And he's had some pretty good defenses as of late. But as we saw on Tuesday night, this match was made as Ethan Page was leaving the parking lot at the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. And Ava's trying to say, hey, you can't leave, you gotta defend your title. And then Ethan gets in his car, he's like, well, what idiot am I gonna defend against? And then we see Yesker appear, and he's like, ah! Scared of a little fucking toy lizard. And then we see Mr. Iguana basically hijack and steal his car. And then Ethan's screaming at Ava. I was like, call the cops! Call the cops! And Ava's like, oh yeah, sure, I'm gonna call the cops and tell them a lizard stole my car. Moron. Alright, so we got this match tonight. Not gonna be a great match, but fun. Maybe Yeska gets involved. Maybe, I don't know if he is, but maybe Dr. Wagner Jr., the Triple A Latin American champion, might get involved. So I don't know if his feud with Ethan is kind of over. I'm not sure. We can see that. Maybe Chelsea Green comes back. Comes to help, because they did fight at the Triple A show for the mixed tag team belts, and sadly, Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice lost that match. So I can see maybe Lola Vice appearing. Well, she's there anyway, so maybe she gets involved in the match. Maybe Chelsea Green gets involved. Who knows? But in the end, I gotta go with Ethan. I don't think they're gonna give a person from Mexico the NXT North American title. So, we'll see what happens with that. But my prediction is Ethan Page to retain, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we go to the ladies, and we go to a singles match between the former NXT Women's Champion, the creepy girl herself, Tatum Paxley, and she takes on her former best friend and member of the Cuckling, Bookie Hogan 2.0, otherwise known as Izzy Dame, with her teammates Nico Vance and the chairman of the board, Sean Spears, at ringside. I feel bad for Tatum, as everybody that she's tried to make friends with pretty much turned their back, except for maybe Lyra Valkyria, who may appear tonight. I doubt it, but you never know. Tatum winning the belt from JC Jane at Halloween Havoc, which I thought was, exciting. New champ, thankfully. But she only held it for a couple weeks and then lost it to JC in that triple threat match, thanks to Izzy turning on her. Not the triple threat match, I'm sorry. The rematch at Gold Rush, thanks to the Cuckling and Fatal Influence all getting involved, and Izzy turning her back on her so-called best friend, just because Izzy was a little bit jealous when Tatum won the belt, and she brought it into the Cuckling, and Izzy's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna get a title shot first, right? Wrong. Tatum gave Lola Vice the first shot, and then Izzy was kind of like, yeah, you need to not listen to the fans, you need to give people opportunities, and Tatum was like, no, I'm going to be a fighting champion, I'm going to give people opportunities, I'm not going to listen to you, I'm not going to listen, I'm going to listen to the fans, I'm going to do this and that, and Izzy's like, okay, I'm going to play around with you a little bit, and then and then just when you least expect it, stab you in the back, and that's what she did. And then, as we saw on Tuesday, Izzy made the challenge to Tatum. Tatum, was on the Tron, wet hair, and then she's saying that, oh, we're gonna get a new side of me, and shit like that. I'm like, This reminds me of Daphne back in the day. Shannon, my sweetheart, Shannon Spruill, always known as Daphne. We miss you. I know, thank you. I remember when Daphne was getting ridiculed, and then she, the late days of WCW and everything, she was just, she became a star. She won the Cruiserweight title at one point. I marked out for that. Daphne winning the men's title. The Cruiserweight title. Which, great. She didn't hold it that long. Sucked, but, got with David Flair. All that, and Crowbar. I thought she got with Canyon. Who's better than Canyon? Not you, Chris. Everybody's better than you. No, you don't get it. Nobody's better than Canyon. Hey, I'm better than you, Chris, you fucker. Remember when I powerbombed your ass to the, to hell? I powerbombed you off the Triple Cage Tower of Doom? Yeah, you're not talking now, you fucker, right? Okay, Mike, calm down. Calm down. Nah, I'm sorry. He just gets me wound up sometimes. So I'm awesome. He's not. He's not because he does a fake-ass fuck diamond cutter. That's why. We still love you as Mortis. But everybody's better than Chris Canyon. Great man that he is, though, but... Oh, by the way, Mike, can you say goodbye? Bye! Okay, thank you. Oh, that pisses you off. Too bad, because you can't do impressions like me. So, you don't like it? Don't watch it, but you will. And just maybe you might get your wish. I'll do an entire video of impressions. And you're going to watch it, and you're going to get mad. No, you're going to like, oh, this is cringe. No, you're going to watch it, and you're going to like it. I'm going to force you to like it. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, so we got that. So, Tatum's going in this new gimmick, new direction. She's pissed off. I don't blame her. So, I'm going to go with Tatum Paxley to get her revenge on Izzy Dame. Now, last night, they showed a video, right before the pre-show, and, people on Twitter oh, the Righteous are going to come into NXT and help Tatum, or somebody's going to help Tatum Paxley. I'm like, yeah, Rosemary might. Then again, she, Rosemary and Wendy Choo Choo kind of offered her some help, and then, that didn't work out. Kicked her out of the prophecy. It's like, fuck you, Tatum. Now you're on your own. Now you have to prove yourself to get back in the prophecy, pretty much. So, see what happens with that. But I'm going to go with Tatum to get the win and some revenge over Izzy Dame. But really, I think Izzy needs to win more because I think Izzy is going to become one of the breakout stars of NXT next year. Shawn Michaels said that my girl Maddie Winkowski is going to have a breakout year. I hope she gets... I'd love for Maddie Winkowski to get a nice fucking push. Maybe to get the Speed title. And I really want her with the Speed title. Maybe the Evolve title. Maybe, just maybe, the NXT North American title. Not the World title. I don't think that's too much to ask for Mr. Hickenbottom. But yeah, I'd like to see Izzy Dame be a breakout star next year as well. I know I don't know if they still do the breakout tournament, but if they do, I'd love to see either Izzy or Maddie Winkowski win that. That would be great for their career. For the men, I'd say Miles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. Or maybe Tavion, but I don't know. We'll go with that. Alright, so Tatum Paxley will beat Izzy Dane to get revenge, and that's it. Alright, then we got the final singles match. This one for the Men's NXT World Heavyweight Championship. And the winner faces Cody! Cody, you bitch! Next week at Saturday Night's Main Event number 42. I don't know if it's going to be a title match or it's just going to be a match. So, we got the champion, Absolute Ricky Starks. He takes on the former champion, the Big Man, the Buddha, from Wakanda, Oba, Femi. This is a rematch from, I forget what pay-per-view, but a couple months ago where Ricky, did the impossible and beat Oba and Trick in a triple threat match. And Ricky's held the title. He's had some good defenses as of late. Now, he faces Oba, who is back since that match. And Oba looks great. He signed a contract this past Tuesday. Oba saying, oh, that version of me, was weak. This version is going to destroy you. Ricky's like, well, I beat you before and I'll beat you again. And now with the added incentive that the winner faces Cody at Saturday Night's Main Event, obviously probably not for the title, probably just be a regular match, unless Cody wants to be stupid and give them a title match. We'll see what happens with that. Now, we all know Cody and Ricky Starks are, besties from their days in AEW. We saw Ricky, that infamous picture of Ricky backstage at the Royal Rumble a couple years ago, which kind of, really pissed off AEW management. That's why we didn't see Ricky for a while. Then he finally got released. Made his debut earlier this year. Did some good stuff. Now he's the NXT World Heavyweight Champion. Beating Oba Femi. Beating some, good people. Jasper Troy. People like that. But we move on with that. So it's going to be a good match. Oba looking to become I believe a 2-time champ or a 3-time champ. I think it's 2-time. I think it's 2-time. I think it's 2-time. I have to check. I think it's 2-time champ. But anyway, Oba looking to get the belt back. We'll see what happens. Going on another monster run. But a lot of people saying that Oba is going to go to the main roster. Probably see him at the Royal Rumble next. So I would love for Oba to win this match and beat the fuck out of Cody next week. That's what I think everybody and their mom wants. But I think realistically, we have to go with logic, and logic usually wins. Cody's going to face Ricky. It's going to be a pretty good match next week on Saturday Night's Main Event, which will probably be the main event, because it's not going to be Cena and Walter, because Cena said on Jimmy Kimmel that he's opening the show and a lot of people saying, why are you doing that? You should be the main event. Then you're going to have after you is just like, ridiculous matches with people from NXT. But Cena's like, well, I want to make this like an NXT, spotlight, showcase of people, men and women from NXT. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. That's good. But really, your match should be going on last. Then again, him and Walter can probably go 30 minutes on a 2-hour show. I don't know. So I'm going with Ricky. My prediction is Ricky, but I would love for Oba to win. So I'm going to go with Ricky to retain the title. Oba's going to go to the main roster anyway. And we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, then we go to the Iron Survivor matches. Basically, the first two people start off the match, and then every 5 minutes, a new participant comes out, and the winner is the man or woman that has the most pinfalls in 25 minutes. If you lose a fall by a pinfall submission, you go into the penalty box for a minute and a half, which may work, may not work, especially if you go into the penalty box for like a minute left. You're screwed. Because when you need that point, you're down a pinfall. You need to get out of the penalty box, get that quick pin, and maybe force overtime. We're not be so lucky. So anyway, we're gonna start with the men. We got your boy is bouncy Javon Evans, the X Division champion, his good buddy Leon Slater, who retained the title last night at Final Resolution against Flop Dollar. We got the guy that has no aura at all, below average Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox of Dark State, or as I call him, Deuces and Jokers, and I also call him Ozzy Osbourne, who picked up the win to get into the Iron Survivor match by beating Trick Willie Shamon. So we'll see what happens with that. We may see Trick Willie maybe getting his revenge on Miles. Maybe. I don't know. Dark State's going to get involved in this match, make it annoying. Joe Hendry's going to do his bullshit. I think Javon and Leon are going to do crazy spots galore. It's going to be insane. If I had to pick a winner, I'm going with Javon. I would love him and Ricky to go at it, because, with that segment, kind of a little bit foreshadowing with that NXT Anonymous segment. But then again, it could be Javon and Oba again, and Oba will squash him again like a bug. Some people just can't wait to die, because you can't, sometimes you stop on a cockroach so much it doesn't die. But, we got that. So it could come down between Javon and maybe Leon, and then Miles steals it. Like he's, like last week, this week he stole the pin to, basically get the advantage, and he can come out anytime he wants. He can come out first, he can come out last, he can come out in the middle, daddy, So, I'm surprised we didn't get this with the women. We got it for the men. But, so Miles will come out fresh. So fresh is so clean, So we get that, and we'll see what happens. So, I'm going with Javon, but I would not be surprised if they give it to Miles. Don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. And I think him and Ricky would be great. Him and Oba again, that would be epic. But we'll see. So I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Miles, but I really wanted to go to Javon. I think he's done a lot of good stuff this year. So we'll see what happens with that. Let me move on. And then finally, we get to the women's NXT Iron Survivor Challenge match. And the winner of that will face JC Jane at New Year's Evil. Alright, so we got Sol Ruka, the resident surfer girl. I think she's been in the last 3 Iron Survivor matches. Lola Vice was in it last year. Jordan Grace was in it last year. I think she won it last year, but lost on the title match. I forget. But in any case, former TNA Knockouts champion and former NXT North American champion, Mrs. Kaylani Jordan, and the Evolve Women's Champion in her first Iron Survivor match, Kendall Gray, with my girl Maddie Winkowski at ringside. Should be good. We saw the summon on Tuesday where Kaylani, shows her spine basically, and says, I would have still been champion if it wasn't for this meathead Jordan Grace, and they started a brawl right in front of Ava Raine, who really couldn't do anything. And then, Kendall Gray, Sol Ruka, and Lola Vice were fighting with Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Fallon Donko, Don Henley, and Laney Reed. That became a 6-man tag team match, which Sol Ruka pinned JC. That might have been foreshadowing, but who knows. And then Delta, her so-called best friend, arguing with her, and then speared Laney Reed to death. I think she was aiming for Sol Ruka, and Sol Ruka kind of knew it. And she's like, what are you doing? And then in an exclusive video, Sol Ruka just goes in the back, and Delta's like, oh, you're not gonna no, I think it was it was Delta going to the back, and Sol was just like, I don't want to talk to you, He says, oh yeah, keep going, you don't have my back, I thought I had your back, you don't have mine, this and that. So they're still planting the seeds for Delta's eventual turn, and I think it's going to happen tonight. I think Sol Ruka will should be one pin away from either tying it or winning it. And I think Delta will come out and screw her. Not like that. But Delta will come out, screw Sol Ruka out of a chance to go get the number one contendership. So I'm going to go with Lola Vice to get another match with JC at New Year's Evil. And I think she will finally finish the story, Jordan. She'll finish the story. So Lola Vice will become the new NXT Women's Champion at New Year's Evil. But if they go with Sol Ruka, then I can see Delta turning on her at New Year's Evil. Then at Vengeance Day, they have their match, and Delta wipes the floor with her. And then goes on to maybe stun and deliver. Maybe go for one of the titles. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, that is it for my predictions for NXT Deadline. Once again, to sum up, I got Ethan Page to retain the Canadian national title against Missy Iguana, the legend that he is, with Yeska. I got Tatum Paxley to beat Bookie Hogan 2.0 Izzy Dame. I got Ricky Starks to retain the NXT World title over Oba, and then he will face Cody next Saturday night at Saturday Night's main event. In the Iron Survivor matches, I got your boy is Bouncy Javon Evans to win the men's match and probably take on Ricky Starks at New Year's Evil. And for the women, I'm going with Lola Vice to win the match and face JC Jane at New Year's Evil on January the 6th. That's New Year's Evil. So we got that. Alright guys, that is it. I'm going to go grab a little bit of lunch and then I'll be back with your SmackDown review over on my main channel, KillDemon669. And hopefully before we get to Deadline, I'll talk about Final Battle. Once again, that'll be on my main channel, on my other main channel, the Peter Joseph channel. And that's that. Alright, we're almost at 100 episodes of this mighty channel. Episode 97 coming away next week, next Saturday for Saturday Night's main event. Episode 98 will be the Christmas show. I'll do episode 99, which will be taped before World's End. So they might, when I do that video on that Tuesday before Christmas, because I'm gonna be off for a week after Christmas. So I'll do the video on Christmas Eve or Christmas. That'll be 98. 99 will be World's End predictions, and then episode 100 will be pretty much after the New Year, the first episode of the New Year. So we got that. So we'll get to 100, but it'll be after the New Year, and then we'll keep going, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so please hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment on the video with your predictions, or anything else you want to talk about in the world of professional wrestling, or whatever. But keep it clean, like sanitation, because if not, you're going to get thrown out like yesterday's garbage. And that's pretty much it. So if you want to talk garbage, go on your dead channel. And that's it. I'm not going to do it on mine. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace out, rock on, and rock hard with your cookoot. And if you're not down with that, well, me and the prophecy, we got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man! And that's it. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and enjoy NXT Deadline tonight. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But get ready for SmackDown. My SmackDown review coming up in a little bit. And your Ring of Honor Final Battle review. And then tomorrow, we'll talk about AEW Dynamite and Collision on the Peter Joseph channel. And we'll also talk about Deadline. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace!